Hey everybody, welcome back to Upgrades Complete. Today we are going to be talking about what this channel is all about, and that is the customization of your collection. Now, if you're an out-of-the-box collector like me, and when I say out-of-the-box, I mean out of the packaging, but also thinking out of the box, this channel's for you. This is what customization is all about. Looking at something, saying, oh, what can I do with that? I know I can make that better. And that is what we are going to work together to teach you the basics on, and we'll get into more advanced things. But one of the things I had to start with was this Swindle. Now, this Swindle is the Jinbao Oversized Warbotron version of Swindle. And he's a fantastic figure straight out of the box. But as you can see, I have really taken him to the next level without doing a lot of work, to be honest with you. The first thing I did, as you saw, as you can see very clearly, is the Toyhax label set. Toyhax does make a set for the Jinbao Oversized Warbotron Bruticus set, and I highly recommend you pick it up because it is a great starting point, especially because they're bringing a lot of these blue colors that are really only used sparingly in the actual figure, and this figure has a ton of molding details, which is awesome. One of the things Swindle is most known for is that smirk, and just pulling it out with a little bit of silver paint is all it took. With those translucent purple eyes, some panel lining, all it needed was a little silver, and really just gave him so much personality. Now, this, of course, is Toyhax labeling. What you're seeing in the chest here is just a little bit of paint work. I matched the blue as closest to I can, and you'll actually see that I've used that in a few spots inside the legs as well. To me, it's in like an energon light piping, and it works really well, especially with the blue Toyhax labels. And they really work well together to bring Swindle into a whole nother level. Now, for alt mode, of course, you can see here in robot mode, you're going to get this purple label, you're going to get the Decepticon logos in the military, but once you add in some panel lining, some filler, and a little bit of, we'll say ink wash, because you can use panel lining fluid, is essentially ink wash in a lot of cases. One of my favorite things to do, and I do this on all of my bots, is the wheels. Now, you know these wheels look generic plastic. They have no depth. They have no nothing. But when you look at this set, it looks like a die-cast metal wheel from back in the day. This is done simply by adding a few drops of ink wash into the rim and giving it a spin. That distributes the wash into all the recesses. You let it dry a few minutes and you have a fantastic looking rim. I did the same, of course, in here. You do it, wipe it around a little bit. Q-tip's your best friend, but you do not need to be an expert, and you do not need to be perfect to make a figure look fantastic. Now, this could get lost in a combined mode in Bruticus where you lose a lot of the detail, and I know I have the arms actually detached from the pegs right now, and that was just for posing. But now you can have the whole team out, which I have done most of the team. I have one more bot to do, and we're going to cover one in a shot. Coming around to the back, you can see the top of the Humvee, and let's just flare that out. You can see the Toyhax labeling in there. You can see the weathering I've added. Now, I didn't go for a cell-shaded version of panel lining. I just filled in some of the recesses, picked out a lot of the mold lines, which this figure is full of. And really, most Transformers nowadays, whether they be original or KOs or oversized, the molded in detail that we have been getting has been outstanding. And you really don't need a lot to achieve this. The first thing that I highly recommend is this here. This is Tamiya's black panel lining accent color. I have one in black, one in gray. Honestly, I've never had to use anything past that because it does the job. This stuff is so thin, it will flow into every crack, every crevice. This one bottle might last you the rest of your life. I've barely touched into it, and I've used it on dozens of figures. The next thing that you really need to have to do something like this is a panel lining marker. I use Gundam markers for plastic model kits. What's nice about these two things is you don't need to prime the figure and paint the figure and then do this over the figure. This is over the existing plastic. I've done no priming, no nothing. All I've done is hit it with a coat of flat clear, which you can't even see, just to keep any of the ink from rubbing off, which honestly, it's nearly impossible to do anyway. Now, so far what we've used is a label set from Toyhax, some panel lining accent color, and a panel lining marker, along with a silver marker to highlight some of the black detailing and, of course, bring out that killer grin. Now, if you want to take a little bit further, I highly recommend you picking up a paint set. Now, the best way to do this is buy a starter kit. Cover all the colors. Get something like the Army Painter Wargamers Mega Paint Set. It's about 60 colors. It's going to last you nearly forever. You might replace a few colors here and there. You're definitely going to use the primer up pretty rapidly and your basic colors. And a set of brushes. Now, that's not much of an initial investment, and you will be able to detail out hundreds and hundreds of your figures without putting out any extra money. One of the other things that we can talk about, and we will down the line, is airbrushing. Airbrushing your customs. I do this for cell shading, where I take a figure completely apart and airbrush primer and paint the entire thing. And that's for another video, but it is worth mentioning. But customization does not have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be hard. If you wanted to just ignore the blue, this is a label set, panel lining, and panel lining fluid. And that's it. Now, if you turn around and take a look at this figure stock versus what you're seeing in front of you now, it's night and day. And that's what we're going to show you here at the channel, especially in this playlist, is how to customize the figure to your best liking. It doesn't have to be perfect in any way, shape, size, or form. It just has to be right for you. It has to be the right look for the right figure, and we're going to show you how to do it. We're going to talk about it, and I think you're going to love it.